Let me just say briefly this and thank Labour, SMEs4Labour for what they do as well. What they now have in terms of Labour Party policy making is a fast track in the development of our policies up until the next general election, forging the policies for SMEs for the next Labour Party manifesto. And we've been working with the group now over the last year or so, talking to them about the practical issues that SMEs face within our country at the moment. And they've been advising us on how we consult, how we engage, and how we develop those policies. And next year, from January onwards, we're touring around the country with regional economic conferences in every region of the country, as well as in Scotland and Wales, and SMEs4Labour will be part of that, to talk about the economic issues that face that particular region, the economic plans that we have to prepare for the future, and then how we go out and campaign for those policies. And it will be about supporting long-term patient investment in our infrastructure, in the development of skills, and in the entrepreneurial support that we need to give to local communities, many of whom voted on the Brexit vote because they felt left behind, both as individuals and as communities. And what we'll make sure we do is we bring the investment to those communities to ensure no individual, no community is ever left behind again. So SMEs4Labour will have that direct route into our policy making. Can I just say this with regard to Brexit, because it's basically dominating all political debate at the moment. Within the first week after the referendum, we set out our red lines, and it was on the basis of the advice that had been given from various business groups advising us, including SMEs4Labour. And our red lines were straightforward. One, we want access to the single market to be preserved. We want to protect jobs, and we want to protect living standards in that way. Secondly, we want the rights of EU citizens here and UK citizens in the rest of Europe guaranteed permanently. The finance sector in this country provides us with wealth and jobs over 100,000. So we would also said that we want access for our financial services to the rest of Europe. We may not be able to gain the passporting rights as of now, but certainly access that will make sure that we retain our financial centres and ensure that they are healthy and vibrant for the future. But also we said we wanted to maintain regulations, both to employment and environmental protections. And finally, we said one of our red lines was the protection of our investment in the European Investment Bank. Why? Because we get a very good deal, particularly in terms of infrastructure investment around the country. Now, we've set out those red lines within a week of the referendum itself. And all we've been asking from government is to be open and transparent. And we've offered to work on a bipartisan basis because we believe these issues actually are beyond party interest. They're in the interest of the country overall. The tragedy is, for months now, we've had no cooperation from government. We've had a lack of openness and transparency, and only when we actually threatened to defeat them in Parliament have we forced them now to tell us that they'll be publishing some form of plan in the new year. Now, as we move toward the Article 50 vote, we'll see what they come forward with in terms of those plans. And we've made it clear to government, if necessary, we will amend the resolution that comes forward in whatever form to ensure it encapsulates those red lines of protection that we need for the future of our economy. Because although we campaign to remain, we have to respect the decision of the British people in terms of their vote to leave. But I don't think the British people voted to leave to impoverish themselves, to reduce their standards of living and put our employment prospects at risk. So our job as a party, and it's the only party that can do it, is to unite this country again now, to get the best deal we possibly can for our economy and ensure that we have a relationship with Europe that is constructive, but but in the long term, mutually beneficial in terms of the growth of the European economy and the UK economy as well. Now, it's difficult at the moment because we have the Liberals on the one hand who want to reverse the decision of the referendum, and we have the Tories and UKIP who want a hard Brexit. But there's a large number of people in this country who actually, like us, simply want the best deal for the future. So we'll be the party that unites this country once again. Difficult though it may be at the moment, but it's in the best interests of everybody. And can I say, it is also in the best interests of business and workers at every level of our economy, and that includes the SMEs. The SMEs, as people have said time and time again, this is where the ideas come from. This is where the sharp end of entrepreneurship. This is where the products and the development and the research for the future will come from as well. So you can ensure that Labour will build SMEs into the development of our policy making. We will be the ambassadors for SMEs as we go through this current period in terms of the Brexit negotiations and on into the general election. We can win the next general election, but we can win it by ensuring that we represent everybody in this country, and in particular that we represent small and medium enterprises. Thank you for your support, and thank you for coming along tonight.